Hey guys, welcome back to another overview for another piece that's recently come into the collection. This is the Sinn EZM10. This is the king of all Zinns in my opinion, having owned almost all of their modern stuff in terms of divers. This is an EZM and I love it. It is a keeper for sure. This watch is not going anywhere, but I'll explain why it's not going anywhere along with all of its features. So first of all, it is um, it's a watch that I'm kind of moving towards in terms of other styles. I think it's like a 47 millimeter. It is big, but because it's titanium, it is light. Yeah, this entire case and bracelet is titanium. Not only is it titanium, it is tegimented by Sinn, as you can see here. So it's tougher. It's surface hardened and according to Sinn's proprietary process, but it's more scratch resistant and it's tougher in day to day. What drew me to it is this has insane amount of complications. It is rocking Sinn's in-house movement with the SC01, which is pretty much modified by Sinn from 7750 movement, which is made by ETA. And it's modified in that the layouts are modified this way. It has a date complication, but it's also got just your central minute and second is in the central point. It's not a subdial. You have your 24-hour kind of clock here, so you can see AM, PM. You have your 12-hour countdown this is hours, and this is your running seconds hand. Amazing features, amazing. I mean, if you just look at a Rolex Daytona, it's got these three, but it doesn't have the date. It doesn't have a central hour hand. So to me, I mean, I'm just using the Daytona, but all the other chronographs around whoever makes them, I feel like this is the most feature packed, and it's unique. It's cool. You don't see heavily modified movements to allow for this kind of features. The other thing that's really cool is it's got a sapphire domed inlay, or sorry, bezel insert that allows these minute markers to glow in the dark. It's got the super luminova on the bezel, as well as on the hour hands, the minute hand, the chronograph hands, as well as I think these two glow. I'm not too sure, but I know anything in orange that you see on here, including this, is UV reactive, so that way it's easier to see. Again, this is DIN certified, which is the European standard for the airline, or I should say a pilot's watch. Just like how there's ISO certification requirements for divers, this is kind of the same thing for a pilot's watch. So it is a great watch. It's now part of the collection and staying because it's large diameter with very short lug to lug, or I should say shorter. You don't expect it. Take a look at the specs on Sinn's website, but I wanted to make this video because you don't find these often, and you don't know most of those features often until someone's kind of tried them out and worn them for you. So we've got a 22 millimeter lug width. It is a little bit beefy, maybe at 16 and a half, and you can see from the side, it's got a almost perfectly flat back. And you've got a domed kind of sapphire crystal on there, so you can kind of see the distortion. The other thing that's super cool, huge crown, it's signed with the Sinn S, but the pushers for the chronograph are integrated into the case with just a slight bump, so you know where they are. I think this is badass. I mean, comparing it to my other Sinn chronograph, you can see it's got mechanical pushers that you have to press, and they kind of stick out from the case. Here, it's just beautifully integrated. So I kind of feel that's like a level up in terms of the engineering behind it, which again is what is expected from a company like Sinn that prides himself on engineering. It's got the same great, almost ceramic bearing style detent bezel, bi-directional, and instead of a countdown timer, I think you have a count. It goes the opposite to a diver, which is great. Again, all loomed, and it's got the super chunky style grip. It is their proprietary style retained bezel, so it's not going to pop off. But yeah, it's cool. It's a great watch. Titanium bracelet goes down, tapers too. As you can see, there's some wear on here from myself as well as the previous owner. But it tapers 22 to 20 with the clasp. Cool. It's got a dive extension, even though it's not a dive watch, but I guess, you know, I'm not too picky about that. It's in here. I would never use it on this watch. But I will say this is the one area where I think Sinn needs to come up with something better for how much these watches cost. I mean, it's super comfortable. It's akin to the old school 5-digit Rolex, you know, clasp that they had. It's not at the same level as the new Glide Lock or the Omegas or any other company that's doing the on-the-fly adjustments, but very reminiscent in that it is thin, light, and comfortable to wear. So it gets a pass from me on that. Let's look at the movement now. So this is the normal orientation for their SZ01 movement. So this is your start. So we can start it, and you can see the second hand moving. And what's cool about it is, just like the EZM 1.1 or any of the SZ01 powered Sinns, which I believe is the EZM10 or the EZM 1.1, this minute counter on this chronograph will not move during the duration of the seconds hands lap around the clock. It'll move just at the end, and it'll move to the perfect minute point at the end. So let's just wait a bit. While we're waiting for that second hand to come around, here you can see the DIN certification, which is given to the watch, and it's super cool and like almost a matte black on the dial. This has the Diapol, which is their Sinn proprietary lubrication. These things will need servicing once every 10 years. And there you go. You can see the second hand just past 12, and your minute hand moved at the same time. So I'm going to stop it, reset, and we're good to go. This also, I think, carries a 200-meter water resistance, which is insane. You're not going anywhere with this, but if you do happen to go diving or anywhere, you know, you can definitely enjoy it. It's got a monster screw down crown, which is great. I love it. A lot of chronographs, you know, I'm looking at the Speedmaster, don't have a screw down crown, but they're also not automatic. Yeah, feature wise, I think it's the biggest in terms of everything. It's got the most features. Here you can see the flat EZM back, the 200 bar, and then it is titanium, tegimented titanium. So this is, along with some of my other keepers, is going to be forever watch. I love it, and I think this is the epitome of Sinn. So again, this is the EZM10 by Sinn. Their pilot's watch, which in my opinion has actually more features than all their divers watches. It is not cheap. It is very expensive, but look around. You might be lucky to find one used. I managed to get it on the titanium bracelet, and I also got it on the leather strap that comes on it. So it's pretty cool. Again, I love this watch, and hopefully you enjoyed. Like and subscribe as always. I know if you have any comments, I appreciate any constructive criticism. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I'll do my best to get to them as soon as I can. Thanks.